Hey, internet friends, this is Magic Brad on the Magic Brad Show in Synergy Cafe, and I've got a new friend that's just down 35W here from Minneapolis, living in Dallas, Texas, and his name is Angel, and the last name is Ribo. You there, Angel?
I am here indeed. Thank you for having me, Magic Brad, and thank you everybody who's listening to us today.
How was the weather down there? I understood you guys got some of our Minnesota snow down there a while ago.
Oh, come on, don't remind me. That wasn't the worst thing, right? The worst thing was having no power for a long time.
Yeah.
So weather today is we have some clouds and it's sunny, and we were 49 at the beginning of the day. So probably right now we are over 50.
You got the power back.
Oh yeah. But the funny thing is that we're having internet outages.
Oh sure.
Yeah. So
Also
we have to get ready for that.
Hopefully this will go smoothly.
Yeah. Absolutely. No. I mean, the thing is, how to say this? You would never imagine that you would be 35 degrees inside your house. I mean, it's like crazy stuff. And how can we possibly do that?
You see your breath?
It was dark, so I don't remember.
Well, Angel, I don't do these real long. I keep them kind of condensed. And
oh, please, absolutely. I'm all about it. Please.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
How long have you lived in Dallas?
For 10 years now.
Okay, deep roots.
Yeah, it's a great place. It's a great place. Yeah, absolutely.
And you're married and got kids? You're a single?
I'm married. I have 3 kids.
Okay.
2 live at home. The other one left already. So yeah. So I mean, we are excited. We love it here. We're very, very into the community. We are volunteers in local hospices, volunteers in the schools. So we are all in here. I mean, we love it here. We are north of Dallas, actually, in a place called Plano, and it's a.
Oh, that's where they make the tackle boxes, the fishing tackle boxes in Plano, Texas.
It can be. I don't know. I should be a fisherman. Oh, the tackle boxes. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. I think it's the second person that has told me that before. It could be. But there's so many headquarters of large corporations right now. So many things happening in the area that probably like the ones that have lived here, probably they are more like acquainted with former companies, like companies that have been
Sure. Well,
here forever.
I'm 63, almost 64 years old. So I'm talking way back when I was a teenager going fishing. I remember I had a plastic Plano tackle box and
wow. Okay.
Plano. So who would have thunk it? So tell us a little bit about.
I mean, let me tell you something. We've been here for 10 years, and there's places that when we came here, there was nothing built. Mm-hmm. And as you know, Texas is the second largest state in the union. Yeah. So there's so much space to fill, that we are in. I mean, it's amazing the amount of companies and headquarters that are relocating every single year.
It's also fascinating how fast they can build buildings these days.
Yeah, true. Yeah, very,
not like
very
brick
true.
by brick by brick anymore. They take them big slabs and put them up, and poof, they got a warehouse.
I agree. I agree. I don't know what's going to happen with the space, with the office space right now, with all the virus and everything. But anyway, people will figure it out. I mean, we're business people, so everybody figures out what to do with the surroundings. But it's a great area. It's an international area. There's people from many different places in the world here. Very important, high-tech industry. So again, multicultural. This is really a melting pot of cultures here in Plano, Texas.
Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
I do.
In the business world?
Totally. Yeah.
You got that entrepreneurial spirit, and we will innovate and adjust. My background is in the event industry, events, travel, and tourism. Guess what? COVID doesn't like that. That said no. So I had to innovate, and that's why I'm doing a lot more online things like this, just staying out there, making it happen. So tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Thank you. Absolutely. So basically, both corporate CEOs and established entrepreneurs, they hire me to bridge the gap globally for expansion and exposure. Basically, I help them grow or accelerate the growth of their businesses through strategies related to going global, basically. Mm-hmm. And basically, it's two very defined parts. One is, exposure. It's all about how do you get the right exposure in the right market at with the right target, right? Mm-hmm. And the other one is how to get, basically, it's more like business development. how to find the right clients or partners or partnerships or distributors or resellers. It depends on what service or product you're providing.
So you work with a lot of different type of people, I'm sure. And
Yes.
do you run into like the old school guys that want to do like radio and TV because that's what works, and they won't innovate into a different way?
Well, I haven't had that conversation, but I definitely deal with old school guys. And I think that everybody is so sensitive already about online, that, I mean, I have been offered myself to have a show on a radio station. But obviously then it's all about, I would have it if I could bring my clients on, and then I could help them, publicize their system, their products and services, right? So it all depends. It all goes down to the audience that you are serving. But I think that right now, even the older schoolers are really, they know that they have to be online. And to that purpose, actually, I use LinkedIn extensively.
Yeah.
I use as you probably have seen, I mean, I'm very active on LinkedIn. I have 27,000 connections. I literally interact with a few, over, now that I counted, it's over 1,500, almost 2,000 people on LinkedIn interacting every single week, literally. Wow. So yeah, I have it's where that's my world. It's where I, interact with everybody.
Well, the reason I bring it up, because I'm in the event business, and there was a party supply store locally here, and the old school guys, they've been around for like 30 years or something like that. They wanted to do radio ads. They didn't really want to put money into this social media thing because they wanted to do the old radio. And you could take that money and you can really put it into a much better place online these days when you understand that kind of thing. Some don't.
But it's a great way of thinking still, because so the question that I like, I'm not the person that asks, can we do this or can we do that? Like, close-ended questions. I'm more the kind of guy that asks my clients, my partners, I ask, how can we? Yeah. And I think that at the end of the day, the main reason why they wanted to be on radio shows or let's say the classic radio, is because of the human touch. And for instance, the other day I was having a conversation with an entrepreneur. He wanted me to help her launch a show online. And actually we ended up thinking of how do we make this show online as the old radio shows in which people they would never miss the show. They already knew at what time it was every single week. Right. And they wanted to be there, and they wanted to make phone calls to the show and actually ask them questions live, these kind of things, and then the radio shows were many different things, but number one, they were informative, but more importantly, they would accompany you, right? They would be your buddies. You know what I mean? If you felt kind of alone or you didn't know what to do, you would go to those programs because you like the host or co-hosts, right? And it's a place where you wanted to be heard and you were curious about the questions of others. So if you realize this, it's like, how do you keep the human connection alive, having an online interaction? That's the question I'm answering myself for my clients every single day. That's exactly what I do.
Yeah, it's the human engagement, and like you said, the Q&A kind of thing where you're actually talking and solving problems, and so it might be more applicable. So it's always good to ask those open-ended questions, the who, what, where, when, how, why, to get information in rather than saying this is the way it should be. Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Are there any specific niches that you work in? Do you work in like
that's a great question.
Real estate?
That's a great question. To be honest, historically, I was working with literally every single industry. Today, it's more related to the mindset of the owner, CEO, entrepreneur, more than to any industry. I really don't think there's any industry I have not worked. To be honest.
So you prefer to work with the owner operator rather than going through the red tape of the committee and the board and all that kind of stuff?
No, that's a great question again. No, I don't mind, because I'm good. I'm good physically. Let's say I like to have the face-to-face, Yeah. So that's where I am really, I mean, if I may say, right, humbly speaking, good at. I'm good at being face-to-face with people, talking to people, listening to people, and understanding what they want so that I can provide them with what they need. So to your question, I really like when there's a structure already in place, because that makes things easier. But
Sure.
that's for corporations, right? But I work a lot with entrepreneurs. So, it's all about the mindset of the person you're working with rather than the kind of company, either size or industry, really.
Sure. Yeah, because sometimes people are concerned about their competition,
Yeah.
and maybe there is no competition. You're just in your own lane. Depends on how
Yeah.
fast you want to drive.
But yeah, and that's one of the reasons why, for instance, last year here in the Dallas business arena, I was helping an accelerator with their entrepreneurs and startup owners. And we did a couple of webinars throughout the year, last year, about pivoting in times of crisis. And a lot of entrepreneurs, while pivoting, is like you are starting over your business, right? Somehow. So they were afraid of, oh, is there competition or there is no competition? I think that's the wrong question, very, very humbly speaking, okay? I think that's the wrong question. The thing is, I mean, do I really like what I'm going to do or to sell? Mm-hmm. Do I have the expertise? Is there an audience for this? And are they going to pay for it? If you're able to answer those 4 questions, then the competition really becomes irrelevant. Because right. If you're able to do yourself, you're able to do something better than the competition, if there's competition, then you're going to thrive. So the question is rather not if there's competition, is how can I differentiate myself? And again, I also believe that the same way I told you before that I don't pick like industries, or I don't pick company sizes, or profiles. I pick mindset. I think it's the exact same way. I think that even if you provide the same service as someone else, I think that you are going to be, there's still going to be an audience, because people will like you as opposed to someone else. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So let's say you and I, we both provide the same service. By nature, there's going to be people that naturally will be attracted to you, and other will be attracted to me. Sure. Just because of who you are, even because of your physical appearance, the way you speak, your accent. I mean, there's so many variables. I mean, your experience in life, right? There's so many things.
I agree.
So that's why I think that it all depends on how badly you want to do this, how really enthusiastic and passionate you are about providing a specific service or selling a specific product, rather than the competition. I'm very skeptical about cutting someone's wings because of the competition. Very skeptical.
Yeah, I've never really understood the competition in business, because if you look at it, McDonald's and Burger King and Coca-Cola and Pepsi are still there, so nobody's won. There is no goal. There's no end goal like there is in a sports game, where there's a goal and a time that runs out.
And there are more and more. It's funny that you mentioned this, because if you go to the central markets or to the Whole Foods markets and these places, you will see that there's probably like 4 or 5 more brands of cola, of cola, refreshment. Yes. There are already. And if you go, actually, I remember when I was still living in Latin America 11, 12 years ago, there was actually a very, very popular soda brand that was from Peru that was competing head to head with both Pepsi and Coca-Cola. And that was, again, 12 years ago, and they started 20 plus years
I'm in
ago.
agreement with that. I think it's, if your mother and father competed, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
You got to work together.
Which ends up, which eventually takes you to a place where, okay, so how can I collaborate as opposed to compete?
I agree.
Maybe so that's why there are so many
similar
ways.
There. I'm building out a thing called the Synergy Collaborative, because that's what it is. It's working together. Figure out how can we don't want to take and share the pie, but let's make a bigger pie.
So let me tell you something. So every time I speak about the main mistakes that entrepreneurs make when they start their own journey, collaboration is one of the main mistakes. Number 1, because it's a blind spot for them. And number 2, because they are afraid of it. And number 3, because they're not able to do it. They don't know how to do it. It sounds crazy, but if you analyze it, and you said it great, Magic Brad, we are not taught on how to collaborate. How many subjects did you have? How many periods did you have in your elementary or middle or high schools about collaborating. What's the right way for collaborating?
Well, our brains are functioning with the left and the right. So we already got that good and evil and the black and white and the separation. You got to realize that there is a gray.
Yeah, but also again, how do you collaborate? How much do you give and how much do you expect in return? Mm-hmm. So it's funny, but I really believe that we are very bad in collaboration. Very bad.
I agree. It's an you kind of wonder, okay, I put in, 100 hours, you only put in 70 hours, and how come we're splitting 50-50?
Yes.
So I understand our mind thinks logically like that.
Yes.
I have another question about who do you serve? Are you in a specific geographic area? Do you prefer the United States, North America, or is it global? Doesn't matter to you?
Yeah. So I've had in the last 5 years of my business, I've had clients in Europe, in Latin America, in Asia, in Australia, in Canada. So I have customers all over the place. So when it comes down to, helping companies go global, there's really, I take clients from almost everywhere in the world. Right now, actually, I'm working on two projects, and one of them is in Asia, like large expansion projects. And, there's really no geographical origin. Obviously, I have a very important, footprint here in the Dallas area because I'm here. So there's a lot of executives that know me and know who I am, right? Because they see me around. But my clients really come from anywhere in the world because of the online world.
Because some of the things that I'm working on, it's hard for me to work with someone over in Singapore or Bali, Indonesia, because the calendar is so flip-flopped. We're going to meet on Monday, but guess what? It's Tuesday there.
Yeah.
So I try and stay in the central time zone as much as I can, but to each his own, Yeah.
I just had a conference call video conference call at 9:30 a.m. here in Central, and it was really late at night for them. But we try to compensate. We try to do like late for me, late for them, late for me, late for them. So we try.
I like the way you operate because it's kind of doesn't matter because over on the other side of the planet, you got early morning people and they got late night people. It depends on the vibe and stuff. So it sounds like you're very open to whoever wants to work with you.
I am.
Done. Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, typically, I have to say I work a lot of hours. A good day for me is a day in which I have a 2 or 3 hour break in the middle.
Okay.
So I see my day in 2 big chunks, really because of that. So, so I have a big chunk in the morning, starting really early. And then I have a big chunk, let's say after 5, I have another big chunk of, Asia is waking up and Europe is going to sleep, so.
What would be some of the key words that you would use for when people are looking for you, if they're searching you out?
Yeah, international expansion, international exposure. I am an influencer, so actually I'm a very strong business to business influencer or business to consumer, because the profile of the 27,000 connections I have on LinkedIn, I told you before, I engage with more than 1,500 every single week. So because of the nature of what I do on LinkedIn, I'm an influencer there. So I am a LinkedIn strategist, a LinkedIn influencer.
Okay.
Let's say a global expansion. Those would be the keywords.
Yeah, LinkedIn is a whole nother world. I got a friend locally here that wrote a book on it. He calls himself the LinkedIn rockstar. Mike O'Neill. I don't know if you know that name.
I've heard his name. Yes.
He's definitely a
Mike O'Neill. Okay.
Lives here in Minneapolis. Used to be out in Denver, but he's really heavy into LinkedIn Navigator and helping lead generation for his clients. That's what
that's good.
Generation through LinkedIn.
I do a lot of that. Magic Brad. A lot.
It's a big world out there, Angel. It's a big world.
Yeah, it's a big world, but it's becoming smaller and smaller.
Well, I think it's important to, sometimes niche down. Myself, I'm working on what I call narrowcasting rather than broadcasting.
Yeah.
Trying to stay within the central time zone so that we're all working on the same time frame. And in the event industry, so I'm specific to the event industry, ideally right here in the Twin Cities. So suppliers of events and people that plan events. So I'm pretty niche down, but inevitably you get into this, oh, that looks interesting. I should sell that software to real estate agents. And you get lost sometimes.
Yeah.
You gotta put the blinders on and stay focused.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
So tell us, how do we get a hold of you if someone says, that sounds interesting, I want to expand my business globally? How do we get a hold of that Angel guy?
Thank you. Absolutely. So it's very easy. As I said before, I'm actually very active online. So it's going to be, if you Google my name, you will see all my social media outlets and posts every single day, every single day.
Right here, Angel Ribo.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my LinkedIn profile.
Right
Thank you.
there. If it looks like that, that's where you go.
Exactly. Thank you. So you can go to LinkedIn but the easiest way to reach out to me directly is through my email address. Every single day, I answer every single message. I have a team behind me. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible. My email address is very simple. It's Angel, like my name, Angel from Heaven, right? ANGEL, and then at angelribo.com altogether. Angel Ribo, my last name is spelled like RIB as in boy O.com. Again, Angel at angelribo.com.
That is easy. 4 letters, Ribo.
Yeah, very easy. Very easy.
Well, Angel, I'm going to sign this off and then beam it up to the universe and propagate it out to that global international world. And we'll see if we can hook some fish.
Magic Brad, it's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to be, in front of your audience and to be able to have this conversation. I really liked it and enjoyed it. As you said, it's very natural. I think that it's people are really want to see or listen to authentic conversations with no hidden agendas nor anything, just being yourself and myself and being ourselves here, trying to inspire. And everybody listening to us, obviously, thank you very much for being with us today.
I agree. I think a lot of the business gets closed on the golf course or, at the watering hole as opposed to in the seminar room.
I agree.
Okay, Angel, thank you very much. Be well.
Thank you. You have a good day.